Hello, and welcome to your next lesson. Today, I would like to discuss our report layout options for our pivot tables. We will look at our pivot table in various forms today, including a compact form, an outline form, a tabular form, and we'll also repeat the labels on all our items. Now, the report layout that you choose will depend on your data needs, as today's video will demonstrate. We will also look at how to move and copy a pivot table for additional use. Please open the pivot worksheet and let's go to the Sales Pivot tab to get started. Okay, so here we are on our Sales Pivot tab. Now, if you did not complete the last lesson, I have added a copy for you to work with. Let's do a right click on any tab. Let's go ahead and say unhide, and let's go ahead and select Spare Sales Pivot. Now, before we take a look at our layout options, I would like to make a copy of this table for us to work with. Now, let's do this by selecting the Pivot Table Analyze tab. Then let's go to the Actions group. Let's get the drop down for Select, and let's go ahead and select Entire Pivot Table. Now I want to go ahead and do a right click and say Copy. Let's select the plus sign for a new sheet. Now let's go ahead and place our mouse inside of cell B2. Let's do a right click and say Paste. Now let's go back to the Sales Pivot tab. Now what we just did was a simple copy and paste. Now if you ever need to move your pivot table, instead of selecting Pivot Table, you would just go ahead and select Move Pivot Table. Now you can select New Worksheet, and Excel will relocate your pivot table to a new worksheet. Or you can go ahead and select the cell on your existing table. Let's go ahead and say F3 and then go ahead and say OK. And as you can see, Excel has moved my pivot table from one location to the next. Okay, let's go ahead and do a Control Z to undo that last action and to put our pivot table back. Okay, so now let's head over to our new tab and get started with our report layout. I would like to name our tab. Let's go ahead and double click it and then just go ahead and type report layout. Okay, so now let's go ahead and stretch out our columns to make it more visible. Let's select column B through E and let's just go ahead and stretch them out. So let's head up to our design tab and let's go ahead and get the drop down for report layouts. So the compact view is the default view for Excel. Now this is a good choice if you're looking to reduce the size of the width and you're not exactly concerned with the row fill headers. Then you will go ahead and choose the compact form. Now if I was to go ahead and select the outline form, you will see my table expand and you will see now my row headers are accessible. Now I have the option to not only sort and filter by region, but I can also do it by quarter. So the outline form gives me more options to manipulate my data. So now let's go ahead and discuss the tabular form and also the option to repeat all item labels. Now this is something that I would use if I wanted to convert my data to a raw form. I will begin by saying do not show subtotals, and I will also get the drop down for grand totals and I will turn off the grand totals. Next, I will go ahead and say show in tabular forms, and I will also go ahead and say repeat all items. Now my data is still on a pivot table, but it's also in the raw form. So the data in this form is perfect for applying conditioning formatting and adding a pop of color to your pivot table, which we'll do in the next lesson. So this is a great opportunity to explore, which is why we converted today's data. We'll apply highlight cell rules. We'll apply data bars, color scales, as well as icon sets. So I'm looking forward to sharing this next lesson with you. So be sure to save your work and I'll see you in the next video. Congratulations on completing another video and on your commitment to learning this program. I hope that you are getting the most out of our level up lessons, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next video.